Good morning. For those of y'all who don't know me, my name is Joshua Robinson, and this is my beautiful wife, LaShonda Robinson, my lovely children, Joshua Robinson Jr. and Joseph Robinson. We are originally from Louisiana. We relocated up here to Missouri about 2 years ago. And in the past 8 years, me and my wife had an opportunity to run a marriage ministry entitled Marriage God's Way. Throughout this ministry, we were able to meet some very exciting couples, and we were also able to witness the power of God work in their lives. So today I'm going to talk to you, or share a little bit about marriage with you today. Okay, today I want to talk about communication and 2 ways to resolve conflict in your marriage, okay, by effectively communicating, okay? And first of all, I want to start off by saying what marriage is, okay? Marriage is the oldest institution known to man, okay? Which means marriage is an institution, which means it's an establishment, it's a foundation, or it's an organization established by God, established with God's laws. So God uses marriages as an establishment or an example to become Christ-like. That's why in the Word it says, Christ says that I am the bridegroom, and he says the church is the bride, because that's the foundation or the establishment that God set up in marriage. Now, even though we, as Christians, we strive to be like Christ, to me, I believe marriage is one of the best ways to become or to strive to become Christ-like on a daily basis. Amen. Amen. Okay, now I want to talk to you about communication. What I want to tell you about communication, first of all, let's define communication, okay? Communication is the exchanging of information, ideas, thoughts, or feelings from one person to another. See, that's what communication is, and communication plays a big role in marriage. How many of you guys know that, and I'm talking to the men here, that the wives loves communication? We all know that, you know? But it also plays a big role for us as males as well, because we have an opportunity to exchange our thoughts and feelings, and so as our spouse have an opportunity to exchange their thoughts, feelings, opinions, or ideas in our marriage. Okay, so I want to just look at this verse here, James chapter 1, verses 26. And it says, if any man among you seem to be religious and brideth not his tongue, but deceive his own heart, this man's religion is vain. Okay, now, the way I was able to look at this scripture, or the way this scripture addresses to marriage to me, is that if any man among you seems to be religious, devoted, okay, but if he does not control his tongue, okay, he deceives himself, okay, and his religion is vain. So if he does not control his tongue, although he might seems like or consider himself to be committed or faithful or devoted in his marriage, but if he does not control his tongue, his communication, he deceives himself, and therefore his religion or his marriage is in vain, or it's worthless. So you must control your tongue. I mean, you can negatively communicate to your spouse, or you can positively communicate. Negative communication is going to bring negative results. Positive communication is going to bring positive results. But you must watch what you say. For example, let's say me and my wife one day, she's cooking, okay? And let's just say I she washes the dishes, okay? And then I say, and then she said, okay, look, I washed the dishes today, so are you going to wash the dishes tomorrow? You know? And I might be like, no, well, maybe not. But the way she communicated that to me kind of raised up some kind of defense in me to not really help her. Now, one of the ways to effectively communicate is to come into agreement. Now, if we were to come into agreement, if she was to say, well, look, honey, I washed the dishes, okay, yesterday, And or if I were to say, look, you cook. I'll tell you what. If you cook, I'll wash the dishes. Okay. If you cook, I'll wash the dishes. Therefore, we came into an agreement. You see, and now the problem is solved. The conflict is resolved there only because we came into an agreement. So you can't effectively communicate unless you come into agreement. Once you come into agreement, then you know your communication has been effective in your marriage. Amen. Okay. Now, also, I want to talk to you about, there's two ways to effectively communicate in your marriage. One way is listening. Okay, guys, this is another one for us. Wives always communicating or talking, and we're somewhat, off in la la land. We're not really listening, okay? Well, it kind of works both ways as well. Even when we voice our opinion or our thoughts or anything like that, and if the spouse is not listening, see, that causes a major issue, and that's one of the major problems. The thing is, we want to it's a difference between listening and ready to talk. See, when they're explaining their opinions and thoughts to you, see, you have to listen. You can't just be ready to talk, not really listening to what they're saying, but you're so eager to, when they wait till they finish, so you can express your thoughts and your feelings and your ideas instead of truly listening to what they're saying, because you really can't get to the bottom or the heart of the conflict if you don't listen or if you don't see the big picture. See, listening helps you see the big picture all the way through. Therefore, you know what the big picture is in the conflict or what the problem is. Then you can effectively resolve it. And that's why in the words it says here, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, okay, and slow to wrath. So let every man be swift to hear, so swift to listen, and then slow to speak, and that's the problem. We want to respond before we see the big picture. You see what I'm saying? So you must listen first and then get the big picture and then be slow to respond or slow to speak. See, if you be quickly to speak, you're not listening, the spouse can pick up on that, then they feel unloved, and then the conflict never gets resolved. Amen? And one of the last thing I want to talk about is understanding. Understanding is another way to effectively communicate in your marriage. See, if you're not understanding or being empathetic, okay, in your marriage, and that empathetic or empathy basically means being able to walk in your spouse's shoes. See, that's what understanding is. You got to be able, when they come to you with a problem or a disagreement or a conflict, you have to be able to see in their situation or their problem in their perspective. So you have to be empathetic. You have to be able to walk in their shoes. That way you can get a full understanding of what their problem is. Okay, once you get a full understanding for it, then you're going to receive new information from them. What causes them to be troubled or what causes them to be sad or whatever the case may be. Now you got that new information now, and now you're able to help resolve the conflict that way. See, conflict is going to come up. See, it's just like in the natural world. Let's just take on a warm summer night when the humidity is out, it's pretty warm outside. And then you got the lightning storm that's coming in. Well, guess what? Although the lightning is scary, right? But it's a reason for the lightning. When the lightning comes, it actually cleans the air. Because what happens, the negative ions or the electrons, right, caused by the storm, okay, the pollutants attaches itself to it, and then boom, it hits the ground. So the pollutants attaches itself to the lightning, and it hits the ground, it cleans the air. So even though the lightning comes or the storm comes, you see, it's a reason for it, and it's a good reason for it. It's the same way as conflict, even though conflict is going to come in your marriage, okay, but it's going to strengthen you. See, whenever you're able to resolve conflict, in your marriage effectively, okay? And then when the next time conflict comes up, you're gonna be able to get more and more better to resolve it. The next time it comes up, you're gonna be more able to resolve it. And then it's gonna help intimacy and growth in your marriage. You're gonna exceed to new levels of intimacy and growth in your marriage. So don't be scared of the conflict. Don't be scared of the storm or the lightning. Because guess what? When it comes, just know good is going to come out of it. And don't be scared of it. And allow it to come and learn from it. And let the good come out of it. And then you're going to move to next levels and next levels of growth and intimacy in your marriage. So, so I just wanted to talk to you today. Today, I just want to conclude that we learned what we learned today was, how to communicate in your marriage and the 2 ways to effectively communicate in your marriage to resolve conflict, and that's by listening and understanding or walking in your spouse's shoes. Amen. Amen. Amen.